In the realm of the Scottish Highlands, where the winds whispered ancient secrets and the moors held hidden horrors, a writer sought refuge. Emily Sinclair, weary of the cacophony that clung to the bustling streets of New York City, yearned for solace amidst the tranquil embrace of Scotland's untamed wilderness. With a heart heavy with longing, Emily embarked on a journey across the Atlantic, venturing into the unknown. She sought a sanctuary, a place where her mind could roam free and inspiration would breathe life into her stagnant words. And so, she found herself in a secluded house nestled deep within the untamed countryside, where no neighbors dwelled within miles. The house, a weathered sentinel perched atop a desolate hill, exuded an aura of both grandeur and desolation. Its time-worn walls whispered secrets of forgotten tales, its creaking floors resonated with the echoes of lives once lived. To Emily, it felt like a place untouched by time, a canvas on which her haunting story could unfurl. Within the confines of her newfound haven, Emily's mind danced with ideas, ethereal specters of inspiration that entwined her thoughts and beckoned her pen. She took to the roads of Scotland, immersing herself in its folklore and history, seeking to capture the essence of its enigmatic beauty. From the ancient castles perched atop rugged cliffs to the mist-shrouded lochs that whispered untold legends, Emily ventured forth, documenting her every experience in the pages of her book. Her senses became attuned to the pulse of the land, her words seeping into the very fabric of Scotland's soul. Unbeknownst to Emily, her work had struck a sinister chord within the heart of a fan. An obsessed soul, entranced by her talent and captivated by her words, had followed her across the vast expanse of the Atlantic, their nefarious intentions veiled by a guise of admiration. It was a malevolence cloaked in adoration, a yearning to possess the essence of her artistry. As Emily's literary odyssey deepened, whispers of malice began to seep into her haven. The wind carried voices that seemed to echo from shadowed corners, whispers laced with unspoken threats. Shadows elongated and twisted, casting grotesque forms upon the walls, as if unseen specters sought to breach the veil that separated the realms of imagination and reality. Letters arrived unannounced, bearing cryptic messages filled with morbid details that only Emily could know. They dripped with an eerie familiarity, sending a chill down her spine. The realization dawned upon her that she was no longer alone, that the fan she had unknowingly invited into her realm of creativity now sought to possess her very soul. Desperation crept into Emily's heart as she unraveled the strands of her own creation, entangling the twisted knot of her reality. She sought solace in the townsfolk, sharing her fears and suspicions, but their expressions concealed a knowledge she could not fathom. In their eyes, a glimmer of amusement danced, as if they held the key to a dark secret. Legends whispered in hushed tones, tales of a haunted past buried deep within Scotland's soil. A malevolent force, it was said, preyed upon the artistic souls that sought refuge within the Highlands, devouring their dreams and feasting upon their very essence. Driven to the edge of her sanity, Emily embarked on a treacherous path towards the heart of her own creation. She journeyed to the ancient stone circle that stood as the epicenter of her inspiration, unaware that her tormentor awaited her arrival. Cloaked in shadows, their features obscured by obsession, the fan revealed themselves, exposing the depths of their twisted adoration. A cataclysmic struggle ensued, a battle that surpassed the boundaries of reality and ensnared Emily's soul. Dark forces converged, their tendrils lashing out, blurring the lines between imagination and nightmare. Each word Emily had penned, each thought she had dared to conceive, had become a conduit for her tormentor's power. Yet, deep within the depths of her spirit, Emily found a wellspring of resilience. A flicker of determination ignited within her, refusing to be consumed by the darkness that threatened to devour her. With a surge of defiance, she severed the connection between her words and the horrors that plagued her, breaking the hold her tormentor had over her fragile existence. As the Scottish dawn bathed the land in a fragile light, Emily emerged from the crucible of her own creation. The house that had promised respite now stood as a testament to her strength, bearing the scars of her ordeal. She had conquered the depths of her own fears, vanquishing the specter that had haunted her every step. And as her pen danced across the page, Emily channeled the horrors she had faced into her words, spinning a tapestry of terror that echoed in the hearts of her readers. Her tales resonated with a resonance that transcended mere fiction, capturing the essence of Scotland's dark embrace. The shadows that had once threatened to engulf her now served as fuel for her art, forever etching her name into the annals of the horror genre. In the realms of Stephen King's haunting prose, the tale of Emily Sinclair became a legend whispered in the same breath as Salem's Lot and The Shining. From the desolate hills of Scotland, her story resonated, a testament to the power of the written word, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a writer who had dared to confront the shadows within.
I hope you enjoy the content I upload. If you like what I'm doing, why not think about clicking on the subscribe button to keep up to date on my uploads. Thank you all for the great support.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of Romania, lived a young girl named Claudia. With raven black hair and piercing blue eyes, she possessed a beauty that captivated all who laid eyes upon her. However, beneath her enchanting exterior, Claudia harbored a dark secret. For many years, Claudia had been in a long-distance relationship with a young Scottish man named Ewan. They had met online, and their connection had grown stronger with each passing day. Ewan invited Claudia to Scotland, eager to finally meet the love of his life in person. Filled with excitement and a sinister purpose, Claudia embarked on a journey from Romania to Scotland. Unbeknownst to Ewan, Claudia believed in an ancient Romanian folklore that claimed bathing in the blood of a loved one would grant eternal youth and beauty. Consumed by her desperate desire to retain her youth, Claudia had chosen Ewan as her unsuspecting victim. As Claudia arrived in Scotland, the rolling hills and mist-shrouded landscapes welcomed her with an eerie charm. She met Ewan, who was overjoyed to finally hold Claudia in his arms. The couple embarked on a series of planned trips across the beautiful Scottish countryside. Their first stop was the historic Edinburgh Castle, perched atop a hill, overlooking the city. The grandeur of the castle failed to distract Claudia from her sinister mission. She observed Ewan closely, pondering the best time and place to carry out her dark deed. Days turned into weeks, and Claudia's facade of love and joy became harder to maintain. She found herself growing more restless, her obsession with youth and beauty gnawing at her every waking moment. Her plans became more urgent, her dark desires consuming her entirely. Finally, the day arrived when Claudia and Ewan ventured into the remote Highlands. The rugged landscapes and mist-laden valleys provided the perfect backdrop for Claudia's twisted intentions. They found themselves in an isolated cabin, far away from prying eyes and civilization. Under the guise of a romantic evening, Claudia prepared a sumptuous meal for Ewan. Little did he know that the dish was laced with a potent sedative, ensuring he would be defenseless against her macabre scheme. As Ewan succumbed to the drug-induced slumber, Claudia's sinister grin widened. The moon bathed the cabin in an eerie glow as Claudia prepared herself for the horrifying act. She adorned a flowing, blood-red gown and retrieved a wickedly sharp dagger from her bag. Her hands trembled with a mixture of excitement and anticipation as she approached Ewan's slumbering form. Just as Claudia raised the dagger, ready to strike the fatal blow, a voice pierced the silence. It was a voice from deep within her soul, reminding her of the love they had shared, the memories they had built. Doubt and remorse crept into Claudia's heart, momentarily weakening her resolve. In that moment of hesitation, Ewan's eyes fluttered open, confusion and fear etched across his face. He looked into Claudia's eyes, searching for answers in her trembling gaze. Sensing his imminent danger, he fought back, struggling against the fog of the sedative. Realizing her plan had been thwarted, Claudia's desperation intensified. A fierce struggle ensued, with Ewan managing to free himself from Claudia's clutches. In his fear and anger, he pushed Claudia away, causing her to stumble and fall against the cabin's fireplace. The flames engulfed Claudia's dress, consuming her in an inferno of her own making. The Scottish Highlands, a place of mystique and ancient tales, held a secret so terrifying that it sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Nestled among the rugged landscapes and looming mountains, a small village called Glenmore found itself gripped by an unspeakable horror. It began innocently enough, on a cold winter's eve. The wind howled through the narrow streets, carrying with it whispers that echoed from the darkest corners. The villagers, hardened by generations of harsh living, had long been wary of the ancient ruins that stood on the outskirts of their town. Once a grand castle, now a crumbling relic, the ruins of Abernathy Castle cast an ominous shadow over Glenmore. Legend had it that an evil sorcerer had dwelled within its walls centuries ago, summoning dark forces and conducting wicked rituals. Though the castle had long been abandoned, the sinister energy that lingered there seemed to seep into the very fabric of the village. One by one, the villagers began to notice strange occurrences. Objects moved on their own, Doors creaked open in the dead of night, and whispers, barely audible, echoed through the cobblestone streets. Fear spread like wildfire as the once close-knit community turned into a web of paranoia and suspicion. Among the townsfolk was Alistair MacLeod, a brooding man with a troubled past. Alistair had seen things in his lifetime that had left him scarred, but nothing compared to the horrors he would face in Glenmore. Drawn to the mysteries of Abernathy Castle, he delved into its history, uncovering ancient manuscripts and forgotten secrets. One moonlit night, armed with determination and a flickering lantern, Alistair ventured into the depths of the castle. The air hung heavy with the stench of decay, and shadows danced along the crumbling stone walls. As he descended into the castle's underground catacombs, he stumbled upon a hidden chamber, etched with symbols of dark magic. In the dim light, Alistair found a diary belonging to the long-dead sorcerer. Its pages revealed a horrifying truth: the sorcerer's spirit had been trapped within Abernathy Castle, seeking vengeance upon the village that had betrayed him. Alistair's blood turned to ice as he realized that the whispers plaguing Glenmore were the desperate cries of tormented souls, yearning for release. Determined to break the curse, Alistair embarked on a treacherous journey. He sought the guidance of an elderly wise woman, known for her knowledge of ancient rituals. Together, they uncovered the steps required to banish the malevolent spirit once and for all. The night of the ritual arrived, and the villagers gathered in fear and anticipation. Alistair stood before the castle's gates, clutching a relic that held the power to sever the connection between the sorcerer and Glenmore. The air crackled with dark energy as he chanted incantations passed down through generations. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a haunting wail pierced the silence. The spirit of the sorcerer materialized, a grotesque and twisted figure engulfed in an ethereal mist. Its rage knew no bounds as it lashed out, unleashing a wave of terror upon the trembling villagers. But Alistair stood firm, fueled by determination and the hope of saving his beloved village. He plunged the relic into the heart of the sorcerer's spirit, its light engulfing the malevolent entity. As the spirit dissipated, a sigh of relief swept through Glenmore, and the whispers finally ceased. In the aftermath of the battle, the villagers slowly began to rebuild their lives. The nightmare of Abernathy Castle had come to an end, but the scars would forever remain. Glenmore became a place of cautionary tales, a reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface, even in the most idyllic of landscapes. And so, the winds whispered stories of Glenmore, a cautionary tale that echoed through the ages, reminding the world that the horrors of Scotland's haunted past still linger, waiting to be awakened by the curious and the unsuspecting.